realize your teacher was using you for free labor. The principal stops reading my college rejection letter, my third one this week, and looks up at me. Your GPA is excellent, she reads, frowning at her screen, but it says here you have 0 extracurriculars. I explain to her that I stay after school every day to help other students, but the principal frowns, saying, the activities log shows you've never joined a single club or done even an hour of community service. I tell her I'm literally in room 203 until 6:30 p.m. every day, sometimes until 9 during playoffs. Just ask Mr. Hayes. She pulls up security footage on her computer, and there I am, in room 203 with 5 varsity football players, including our state champion quarterback, writing 5 different essays while they're on their phones. The principal's face goes white as she asks me, you're doing their homework? I'm confused. I explain to her that Mr. Hayes says it's peer tutoring for my college application, but she types something into her laptop and turns the screen toward me, saying, there's no record of any tutoring program in our system. My mouth goes dry and I feel my stomach drop through the floor because I've been doing this for 3 years, every single day after school, all while Mr. Hayes told me Harvard loves students who help athletes succeed. However, I can only assume Harvard doesn't love students who do athletes' homework for them. The principal calls in the guidance counselor, who pulls my record, saying, you've missed every college prep meeting. I explain that Mr. Hayes said the tutoring was more important. The counselor's fingers freeze over the keyboard. The counselor asks, did you write your own college essays yet? And I tell them that I started them, but Mr. Hayes said they needed editing. She asks me if he edited them, and I admit no, he said I should focus on helping the team first. The counselor's face goes pale and she grips the edge of the desk as she says, you missed your own deadline helping others meet theirs? But I defend him, my voice getting smaller, saying, Mr. Hayes says the team brings in thousands of dollars to the school, and my grades are good enough as is. I should help those who have a lower chance of success. The principal shakes her head, and something in her eyes makes my chest tight as she says, your grades are excellent, but colleges rejected you because you're a ghost with no activities, no personality, no recommendations that aren't about how helpful you are to others, just grades. That's when it hits me like a punch to the stomach. I realize I spent so much time writing everyone else's story, I forgot to write my own. Mr. Hayes freezes in the doorway when he sees us, his coffee cup halfway to his lips, and he tries to turn around and leave, but the principal calls him in asking about his tutoring program. Mr. Hayes sets down his coffee and acts casual, saying, oh, she's our best tutor, so helpful to everyone. Then the principal turns her laptop toward him, showing the security footage, and his face changes completely, going from fake smile to cornered animal. He says, those students need support, they have learning differences. His voice is getting higher, saying, do you know how much the sports program brings in? Then he turns to me, desperate now, saying, tell them how much you love helping, tell them. But I stay silent, and for the first time in 3 years, I don't defend him. The counselor is in Mr. Hayes' face. You told a student this would help their college applications. The principal's pen snaps in her hand as she tells him, doing homework for others isn't community service, it's academic fraud. Then Mr. Hayes gets angry, really angry, his face turning red as he shouts, those boys have futures, NFL futures, million-dollar futures. She was just sitting there with free time anyway. Everyone goes silent as he realizes what he just admitted, that he thinks one student's future matters more than another's. The principal looks at me and says, I have a choice. I can file a formal complaint, which means the athletes get suspended and Mr. Hayes gets fired. Or I can stay quiet and transfer schools. I ask them, what will happen to my college applications? The counselor looks at me all pitiful-like and says, nothing, your college has already rejected you. This choice is just about whether everyone else gets punished too. I think about the championship banners all over town and all the disappointed people. However, Mr. Hayes pulls me out of my thoughts and starts laughing, actually laughing. He pulls out his phone saying, go ahead, file your complaint, but I have emails where she offered to help, begged to help actually. My hands start shaking as he scrolls through his phone showing the principal, plus her mother signed permission slips for paid tutoring. $20 a week went into her account for 3 years. I can't breathe as I say, that's a lie, I was never paid. He puts his phone away and says, I have proof that says differently, so go ahead and file that complaint. The principal and counselor look at each other and then at me, and Mr. Hayes leans back in his chair smirking. I stand up saying, I recorded every session, and play the video of Mr. Hayes saying, just do the whole essay, these idiots can't even write their names. He's fired on the spot.